So what are the inputs for this one? We have the requirements and the design coming as inputs for this one. And what we do as part of the tracing of requirements, we need domain knowledge, obviously, because that would help us to understand what is important to be able to trace requirements. For example, if we're talking about healthcare application, you can't ask a banker to talk about that as, hey, what is required? They don't have a clue. So we need to have people who've got the domain knowledge of the healthcare or the life sciences or hospital management to be able to say that, well, this is missing here because they know the details. They're the people who are specialists and experienced people in that particular knowledge area of the industry. You also need to address the legal or regulatory information because that's where often we do not look at that thing, the small print, it goes for a big toss. You end of the day, a product might actually be a failure or it could have had a loophole in that which could be exposed and it could, unauthorized elements could make use of that. They could swindle money. They could actually do all the kind of things and that could potentially lead to loss of millions or even billions of pounds to the organization. So you should really be very careful about what are the legal requirements, what are the regulatory requirements, what are they talking about, what are the business rules we need to really stick to. Information management approach in terms of how we're going to communicate these requirements, what are the kind of channels we're going to use, what formats do they expect us to deliver this, what is the extent of documentation, is it a user story, how is sharing their information, should it be shared at all in the first place, who are we going to share this information, all that. And requirements management tools in the repository, what are we going to use, which tools are we going to use, are we using Trello, are we using Jira, are we using Rational Requisite Pro, what kind of tools are we using Word, do we need any licenses, what kind of licenses, is it enterprise license or is it per seat license, all of these, and typically these are called care tools, or this is called requirement management tools, basically, or could we call it computer-aided requirements management tool or engineering tools. So CARE is basically computer-aided requirement engineering tool. So CARE tools are basically, they would help you to understand the softwares or what applications that you would use to perform these different tasks. And then what are the other aspects that are related to this one? Obviously, defining the design options would depend on this because once you have a good idea about the requirements, how they're traced back and forth, you'll be able to come up with the design options in the high level and the low level design and other things. So